Hello everyone, it's Hannah here from Virtually Fluent. Welcome back to our brand new B1.2 Plus series of videos. Today we're going to start with some really tricky words which have the letters OUGH inside, the different ways we can pronounce words with these letters. So let's get started with this video. So as I mentioned before, we are going to look at words today that have OUGH inside them. There are so many different ways that we could pronounce these words. In fact, there are 9 different ways. Please bear in mind, some of these different pronunciations will just have one word, one random word, while some of the others will have 2, 3, or even more that use these. Really, we have to learn each word with the correct pronunciation. So let's have a look at some of these different ways to pronounce OUGH. The first one we're going to start with is the UGH sound. You can see that written phonetically here. For example, rough, tough, enough. The second pronunciation is O. For example, dough, though, furlough. The third one is a long OR sound. For example, thought, ought, fought. Next is an OO sound, a nice long vowel OO. For example, through, or slightly extended, throughout. Next up is just the schwa sound, which is that dropped sound, that very small vowel. For example, borough, thorough, and Scarborough, which is a place here in the UK. Actually, we have a lot of cities or areas which have that OUGH ending inside that use the schwa pronunciation. Scarborough. Next up is the OW sound. For example, plough, bough, drought. Moving on, we have the OFF sound with that double F feeling again. For example, cough and trough. Moving on, we have the next one, which is up. I can really only find one word with this pronunciation, which is hiccup, hiccup. And finally, we have an OUGH sound. For example, lock and hock. So as you can see, it's a pretty tricky set of letters all together with different ways that it can be pronounced. I highly recommend simply learning each word with the correct pronunciation. As you can see, we don't really have rules for when we use each of these different ways to pronounce the words. That's it for today's video. Don't forget that if you learned something new or just enjoyed today's video, go ahead and give us a like. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel to see regular videos that we post about English grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary to help you boost your English level. If you would like to learn even more about the OUGH words, we do have a series of activities, online quizzes and games, as well as audios, very clear audios of me pronouncing each word for you in our online course. I've left the link to that in the description below. That's all for today. This is Hannah from Virtually Fluent, bringing English to life.